Hi everyone. Today let me continue the chapter The Rat Trap, which is written by Selma Lagerlöf. In the previous session, we had seen that the peddler accepted the request of Edla Wilmanson, who was the daughter of Iron Master, and then he decided to go with Edla Wilmanson. But while he was riding up to the manor house, he had evil forebodings. Why the devil did I take that fellow's money? He thought. Now I'm sitting in the trap and will never get out of it. So while he was going to the manor house is a large country house. So while he was going to the manor house, he had evil forebodings, means that he had a feeling that something bad is going to happen. The peddler felt that as he had committed a crime, he would be punished for it. So here he was cursing himself for taking the crafter's money. He was thinking that he would not have got trapped like this if he had not stolen the money. He realized the fact that the money was actually a bait which was now leading him into a trap. The next day was Christmas Eve, and when the ironmaster came into the dining room for breakfast, he probably thought with satisfaction of his old regimental comrade, whom he had run across so unexpectedly. Next day was the day before Christmas, and when the ironmaster reached for the breakfast, he became very happy when he thought about his unexpected meeting with his old regimental comrade. Old regimental comrade means that old fellow soldier. First of all, we must see to it that he gets a little flesh on his bones, he said to his daughter, who was busy at the table. While he was saying this, ironmaster was so worried about the health of his friend. That's why he said to his daughter, while she was making food ready on the table, that we should give food for him to make his health better. Flesh on his bones here means that the peddler should eat food to gain some flesh on his body. And then we must see that he gets something else to do than to run around the country selling rat traps. And he also said that about finding out a new job for him other than selling the rat traps around the country. It is queer that things have gone downhill with him as badly as that, said the daughter. Last night I didn't think there was anything about him to show that he had once been an educated man. The daughter told her father that it is very strange to think that a man who had worked in the regiment, how he reached into this bad condition, she felt very sorry for him. Things have gone downhill means that things are in a very bad condition. She also told that last night when I had seen him, I couldn't believe that once he had been an educated man because he was completely dressed like a beggar. He had a bunch of rat traps, a long beard, and overgrown hair. In her opinion, nothing showed him that once he had been an educated man. That's why she was doubtful whether the man was educated or not. You must have patience, my little girl, said the father. As soon as he gets clean and dressed up, you'll see something different. Last night he was naturally embarrassed. The tramp manners will fall away from him with the tramp clothes. Father asked her to be patient and consoled her by saying that once his friend had been dressed up properly, she could see the difference. Last night he was naturally ashamed of his bad condition and worn out clothes. After removing his beggar's clothes and puts on clean clothes, his beggar mannerism also will go away, and then he'll become a clean and perfect man. By saying this, he was actually trying to convince his daughter, Edla Wilmanson. Just as he said this, the door opened and the stranger entered. Yes, Now he was truly clean and well dressed. The valley had bathed him, cut his hair, and shaved him. Moreover, he was dressed in a good looking suit of clothes which belonged to the ironmaster. He wore a white shirt and starched collar and whole shoes. As soon as the conversation entered, the door opened and the stranger entered. Was the stranger here? The peddler. The stranger was looking very clean and well dressed. Their personal assistant had bathed him, cut his hair, and shaved him, and made his look very neat and clean. He was wearing a white shirt, a starched collar, and whole shoes. He was very good looking in that suit, which has belonged to the ironmaster. But although his guest was now so well groomed, the ironmaster didn't seem pleased. He looked at him with puckered brow, and it was easy to understand that when he had seen the strange fellow in the uncertain reflection from the furnace, he might have made a mistake. But that now, when he stood there in broad daylight, it was impossible to mistake him for an old acquaintance. Although the stranger was looking very neat and clean and well dressed, the ironmaster was not happy by looking at this stranger. He looked at him with puckered brow, means that wrinkled brow, means that when he saw the stranger, he had some doubts regarding the stranger because he was looking totally different. Here, he was thinking it was very easy to identify a man and misunderstand him in the dim light of the furnace. But it was not easy to be mistaken in the broad light to identify his old acquaintance, means his old friend. So now he understood that he had made a mistake in identifying the person. What does this mean? He thundered. The stranger made no attempt to dissimulate. He saw at once that the splendor had come to an end. The ironmaster became very angry and he shouted at the peddler. What did he scream? What does this mean? But the stranger or the peddler didn't try to hide or dissimulate, means that conceal or hide. Here he didn't make any attempt. The peddler didn't make any attempt to disagree with the words of the ironmaster. And he didn't try anything to hide here. So the peddler understood that all his magnificence or all the luxurious treatment was about to end. It's not my fault, sir, he said. I never pretended to be anything but a poor trader, and I pleaded and begged to be allowed to stay in the forge, but no harm has been done. At worst, I can put on my rags again and go away. The peddler tried to explain that he shouldn't be blamed. He tried to explain that it's not his fault. I didn't say or act to be any other one. I'm just a poor peddler. I only begged for a stay in the forge. He also said that I didn't harm anyone. I didn't try to take away anything from you. I didn't even tell you a lie that I'm your old friend. Now also I'm ready to put on my rags and go away from here. Well, said the ironmaster, hesitating a little. It was not quite honest either. You must admit that, and I should not be surprised if the sheriff would like to have something to say in the matter. Here the ironmaster is trying to question him by saying that you are not honest because you could have told me you are only a peddler, and why did you accept my request? Here he is asking him, why did you accept my request and come here? Sheriff means that the person who has the in charge of the law and order in that area. Anyway, I'm going to inform the ironmaster said that I'm going to inform this to sheriff and he will decide what to do. The tramp took a step forward and struck the table with his fist. Now, I'm going to tell you, Mr. Ironmaster, how things are, he said. This whole world is nothing but a big rat trap. All the good things that are offered to you are nothing but cheese, rinds, and bits of pork. set out to drag a poor fellow into trouble. And if the sheriff comes now and locks me up for this, then you, Mr. Ironmaster, must remember that a day may come when you yourself may want to get a big piece of pork, and then you will get caught in the trap. After hearing this, Peddler became so angry and he struck the table very hard with his fist, and he started to explain to the Ironmaster about his philosophy. What is his philosophy? The whole world is itself a big rat trap, and all the good things are a bait, just like the rinds of cheese and the small pieces of pork, which are actually a bait for the rat, which are offered to trap it. So here the peddler says that all the things that are offered to him are nothing but the baits. They are set out to drag a poor fellow into trouble. Here he starts threatening the Ironmaster by saying that if the sheriff comes and locks him up, then one day the Ironmaster was also going to be attracted to some bait and he will also caught in a trap. The Ironmaster began to laugh. That was not so badly said, my good fellow. Perhaps we should let the sheriff alone on Christmas Eve, but now get out of here as fast as you can. Hearing his words, the Ironmaster started to laugh. The Ironmaster told that the peddler to leave the place as fast as he could, because he said that he only wanted the sheriff to come there on Christmas Eve. But just as the man was opening the door, the daughter said, I think he ought to stay with us today. I don't want him to go. And with that, she went and closed the door. But the Ironmaster's daughter, Edla Wilmanson, stopped the peddler and told her father that she didn't want him to go, and she also wanted the peddler should stay there on that day. With that, she went and closed the door. What in the world are you doing? Said the father. The daughter stood there quite embarrassed and hardly knew what to answer. That morning she had felt so happy when she thought how homelike and Christmassy she was going to make things for the poor hungry wretch. She could not get away from the idea all at once, and that was why she had interceded for the vagabond. The Ironmaster got so angry by seeing what his daughter had done, and he shouted at her and asked what she was trying to do. But when her father shouted at her, she felt so awkward, and she didn't know how and what to answer him. But she knew one thing, that is, she wanted to help the poor fellow. And since morning she was planning how she could make the peddler's day happy on the occasion of Christmas. That's why she went against her father's will and stopped him by closing the door. Poor hungry wretch means that poor miserable person. Poor hungry wretch means poor miserable person. So she didn't want to give away these ideas because she had already planned what are the things she would to make to the peddler happy for the Christmas. That's why she had interceded, means that intervened and spoke up for the peddler. I'm thinking of this stranger here, said the young girl. He walks and walks the whole year long, and there is probably not a single place in the whole country where he is welcome and can feel at home. Wherever he turns, he is chased away. Always he is afraid of being arrested and cross-examined. I should like to have him enjoy a day of peace with us here, just one in the whole year. Edla Wilmanson felt very sorry for the peddler. That's why she says that she is thinking of the stranger and she is trying here to explain the difficulties faced by the peddler. He walks and walks the whole year, and no place is there to make him feel as a home, means that he doesn't have a home, and nobody is there to welcome and care him. He always keeps running in order to protect himself from being arrested and cross-examined. Cross-examined means questioning. She also added that she should like to have him enjoy a day of peace with them, means that she wants him enjoy Christmas with them. That's why she is not ready to agree with her father's decision of sending him away on Christmas. The ironmaster mumbled something in his bed. He didn't bring himself to oppose her. But the ironmaster didn't like the words of his daughter, and here he mumbled means that murmured because he was not able to answer and to oppose his daughter. It was all a mistake, of course, she continued. But anyway, I don't think we ought to chase away human being whom we have asked to come here and to whom we have promised Christmas cheer. She said that anyway they had done a mistake. What was the mistake? Thinking that he was his old friend and bringing him home. Here she said that I'm not ready to send him away because we have invited him here and we have promised him happiness on the day of Christmas. So she was opposing her father's decision of sending away a poor vagabond who had come their home only after accepting their compulsion and believing in their words and promises of spending only one day with them with peace on that day of Christmas. By saying all this, she is actually trying to convince her father. You do preach worse than a person. You do preach worse than a person, said the ironmaster. I only hope you won't have to regret this. The young girl took the stranger by the hand and led him up to the table. Now sit down and eat, she said, for she could see that her father had given in. The man with the rat traps said not a word. He only sat down and helped himself to the food. So the father said her that you are trying to preach or address me better than a parson or priest in the church. Then also the ironmaster gave a warning to his daughter by saying that her decision would not bring any adverse effect on them. After this, she took his hand and led him straight to the table, and she also offered him food. Why did she do this? Because she had understood that her father agreed to her request. And the peddler obeyed her without saying any word and sat down, and then he started having his food. Time after time, he looked at the young girl who had interceded for him. Why had she done it? What could the crazy idea be? While he was eating, time after time, he was looking at the young girl, thinking that why she had interceded or intervened or talked for him. He was wondering of her actions and so many questions were going on in his mind. What were those questions? Why this girl had supported him and what made her do that? After that, Christmas Eve at Amsterdam passed just as it always had. The stranger didn't cause any trouble because he did nothing but sleep. The whole forenoon he lay on the sofa in one of the girls' rooms and slept at one stretch. At one stretch means continuously. It was a Christmas Eve and everything went on smoothly like every year. This man didn't cause any trouble because he didn't have anything to do. All he did was just sleeping. He was sleeping continuously on the sofa in one of the girls' rooms in the whole afternoon. At noon, they woke him up so that he could have his share of the good Christmas fare. But after that, he slept again. It seemed as though for many years he had not been able to sleep as quietly and safely as here at the Ramsdale. And in the afternoon, they woke him up for his share of good Christmas fare. Christmas here it means that for the good Christmas feast. But after then also he went back to sleep. He slept as though for many years didn't have a peaceful and safe sleep. So at this place he was feeling comfortable and safe also. So he slept for a long time. It seemed that he had never got a chance to sleep so peacefully as he had got at this place. In the evening, when the Christmas tree was lighted, they woke him up again, and he stood for a while in the drawing room, blinking as though the candlelight hurt him. But after that, he disappeared again. In the evening, they woke him up again when they wanted to show him the decorated Christmas tree, and they led him to the Christmas tree. He stood there blinking as if he was getting hurt by the bright light of the candles. Then again he went back to his room. 2 hours later, he was aroused once more. He then had to go down into the dining room and eat the Christmas fish and porridge. After 2 hours, he was woken up for dinner of Christmas. What it is there for Christmas dinner? Fish and porridge. After eating his food, what he had done? As soon as they got up from the table, he went around to each one present and said, "Thank you and good night." But when he came to the young girl, she gave him to understand that it was her father's intention that the suit which he wore was to be a Christmas present. He didn't have to return it, and if he wanted to spend next Christmas Eve in a place where he could rest in peace and be sure that no evil would befall him, he would be welcomed back again. After eating his food, he went around and thanked each one and also said good night. And when he reached near Edla Wilmanson, the daughter of Iron Master, she said that the suit which he was wearing, that was a Christmas present from her father. So he couldn't. She also said that he didn't want to return it. That is why he can take that dress with him. She also invited him to be with her family for the next Christmas Eve and promised that nothing bad would happen to him at that time. Okay, so here she also invited him for the next Christmas celebration. The man with the rat taps didn't answer anything to this. He only stared at the young girl in boundless amazement. The peddler didn't have anything to tell her because all the actions of the girl had wondered him, and he was thinking that why this girl was behaving to him in such a good manner. That's why he only stared at this young girl with boundless amazement. The next morning, the ironmaster and his daughter got up in a good season to go to the early Christmas service. Their guest was still asleep and they didn't disturb him. The next morning, the ironmaster and his daughter got up very early in the morning to go to the church for the Christmas service. They didn't want to disturb their guest. Who is the guest here? The peddler. So they didn't want to disturb their guest as he was sleeping. When at about 10 o'clock they drove back from the church, the young girl sat and hung her head even more dejectedly than usual. At about 10 o'clock they were driving back home, but this time the young girl was sitting dejectedly, means that the girl was sitting unhappily or in a sad manner, because at the church, what happened? At the church, she had learned that one of the old crofters of the ironworks had been robbed by a man who went around selling rat traps. At the church, they had come to know that a rat trap seller had stolen money from the old crofter, and they also realized that he was the same man whom they had as a guest. "Yes, that was a fine yellow you let into the house," said her father. "I only wonder how many silver spoons I have left in the cupboard by this time." And the father started to scold his daughter, telling her that thief is the man whom you had let inside our house. So the father is worried and saying that how many silver spoons have been stolen by him. The wagon had hardly stopped at the front steps when the ironmaster asked the valet whether the stranger was still there. He added that he had heard at church that the man was a thief. The carriage reached home, and the ironmaster inquired the valet whether the stranger was still there inside the home, and he also added that the stranger inside the home was actually a thief. The valet answered that the fellow had gone and that he had not taken anything with him at all. On the contrary, he had left behind a little package which Miss Wilmanson was to be kind enough to accept as a Christmas present. But to the surprise of Ironmaster, the valet answered that the fellow had gone and he had not taken anything with him at all. Instead of taking something, the stranger had left a small Christmas present for Miss Wilmanson. The young girl opened the package, which was so badly done up that the contents came into view at once. She gave a little cry of joy. She found a small rat trap, and in it lay 3 wrinkled 10-kroner notes. But it was not at all. In the rat trap lay also a letter written in large, jagged characters. The ironmaster's daughter opened the package. It was so roughly packed that she could easily guess what was inside the pack. She made a little cry of joy when the peddler proves his honesty and innocence. She was so happy to see the gift. What had seen inside the package? A small rat trap with the 3 wrinkled 10-kroner notes. And she also got a letter from the rat trap, which was written in large, jagged characters, means that something that is not clear. Honored and noble miss, since you have been so nice to me all day long, as if I was a captain, I want to be nice to you in return. In the letter, he addressed her as Honored and Noble Miss. Since you were so nice to me for the whole day, even I want to be so nice to you. And you treated me like a captain. And I also wanted to do something for you, as if I am a real captain. For I do not want you to be embarrassed at this Christmas season by a thief. But you can give back the money to the old man on the roadside who has the money pouch hanging on the window frame as a bait for poor wanderers. So he continues the letter telling that I don't want you to feel ashamed because of a thief. And he also writes in the letter that please give the money back to the old crofter from whom I had stolen the money, and he is calling the pouch of the old man with the money as a bait for the poor people who are roaming about the way. And he continues his letter that the rat trap is a Christmas present from a rat who would have been caught in this world's rat trap if he had not been raised a captain, because in that way he got power to clear himself. Written with friendship and high regard, Captain Wonsdale. And here he continues the letter telling that this rat trap is a gift for Miss Wilmanson. He calls himself as a rat. He is saying that now he has been raised to the level of a captain because the daughter treated him as a captain. Because of that, he has released from the world trap. So he says that he would have been caught in this world rat trap if he had not been treated in such a way, like a captain by Miss Wilmanson. So here he said that it was she who let him free from the world trap by raising his status from that of a mere peddler to that of a captain. So due to raising his status as a captain, he got the power to clear himself, because the kindness and hospitality shown by Ursula had transformed him completely. And her understanding and deep sympathy had awakened the essential human goodness in the peddler, and so he also behaved in a delighted manner and signed himself as a Captain Wonsdale. Thus, we are getting a message through the story. What is that? The essential goodness of a person can be brought about by kindness and understanding. And in this story, the generosity and kindness shown by Edla